Hi, welcome back to another episode on Mindset. And today I have the pleasure of having my friend, my longtime friend with me, Eniola. And Eniola is an accountant. So, Eniola, you're welcome to this episode.
Thank you very much. And the way you said accountant, I'm not stingy, I promise.
You're not stingy. You see, guilty conscience, you are stingy.
I just work with money. But thank you so much. I'm so
Okay.
here.
All right, you're welcome. We're honored to have you. Okay, so on today's topic, I intentionally called Eniola on this episode because I know this topic is gonna resonate with you in a way. So, and the topic is growth mindset. So, Eniola, I'm just gonna dive into the questions. So, I want to get your opinion on this. So, when you hear the word growth mindset, what does it mean to you?
I feel like goal mindset pretty much means, having a goal in mind and, doing whatever you have to do towards that goal. So it could be as little as, I want to get to school at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. You have that goal in mind. You're like, okay, I'm going to go to bed at 5 p.m. today, or maybe 7 p.m. so I can wake up at this time, drive to, get my car or get the bus and then drive there. So it pretty much means different things to everybody. And also it could be like a small goal and a big goal, but pretty much just, having something that, okay, this is what I want to do, and making sure that you accomplish that. Whether you face, adversity, whether you face a setback, whether they're challenges on your way, just making sure you're able to, get to that thing that you set for yourself.
Okay, all right, nice one. You see how clear here. Okay, now, so that takes us to the next question, Annie. So, is there any benefit to having a growth mindset?
I think there's honestly a lot of benefits. I feel like, as you go in life, you're going to see that you become more hardworking than you've been probably before you started, towards that. And then, consistency as well. You start to practice consistency, and not just with that goal that you're pretty much set, with everything else that comes in your life. Because now you're like, okay, I can be focused on something, I can achieve this thing, and then you keep going at it. And also the biggest thing that I can think of, when it comes to, just resilience too. So when you have in mind and you're trying to get to that goal, you actually you practice resilience, and you just learn a lot of things along the way. It's just about that one thing that you plan to, do. It kind of just, goes towards every aspect of your life, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sure. So, what do you think about fixed mindsets, and is there any disadvantages to having a fixed mindset?
I wouldn't say there are disadvantages to having fixed mindsets, but I feel like people like us that kind of have, a growth mindset or always want to evolve. We always see people that have fixed mindsets as, maybe less than, but there's really not wrong with it. All of us cannot be, that person that wants to wake up and be a go-getter. Is it go-getter or go-getter? Some people that they're content in, they just wake up and they just content, and there's nothing wrong with it. But the only downside that I can say to that is, people like that, they just don't tend to, go after anything. So there's no motivation towards your day-to-day life, but there's really nothing wrong. Well, it's just what they decide to do, and, what they feel like they want with their lives, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. So I'm just going to ask you this. So can you share a time with us when you adopted a growth mindset? And what prompted you, or what motivated you to make that decision?
Actually, I feel like every day I do. But the biggest right now is my fitness journey. I feel like I have to where I want to be yet, but I remember it was I don't want to say my age on this so that you guys won't think I'm old.
No, you don't have to say that.
A few years ago, when I try to climb a flight of stairs, I would feel myself breathing as if I'm 75. I wasn't that, and I want to climb a flight of stairs, and I'll be breathing hard. I'm unable to exercise. I'm unable to run. So I decided, I don't want to look, and I look in the mirror. I don't like what I see in the mirror. So I told myself, I want to get to this. I want to be fit. I want to be able to, run miles without having to give up
heavily.
Exactly, being burnt out. I also wanted my physique to actually look better. But and this was like 2 years ago, and the journey, I feel like it still continues. Every time I wake up, I'm like, okay, today I don't feel like working out, but I have to work out.
But you
this
have to.
Lot to eat, it's bad. Okay, what do I do? Do I eat a little bit of this, or do I, do more? So I feel like it's like a constant. And one thing that people don't see when it comes to that growth mindset, like you said, you have that goal in your front. You're like, I want to get here, but the things that you need to do to get there. Some days, you like you don't feel like doing it. You don't feel like
doing anything.
But I have to do it because, and that kind of just applies to every aspect of our life too. You have this career that you're like, okay, maybe I want to become a CFO by the time I'm 40. You don't just say it and then you just pray that God will just come down from heaven and just put you there. You have to work too. You have to wake up every day and grind. If you need to go back to school, to get like a certificate or like some sort of certification, if you have to, sleep maybe 4 hours a day, whatever you need to do, you need to get there. But the point I'm just trying to make, my own personal life, there's so many other choices, but the one that I the easiest to share would be my weight loss journey. I've lost a lot of pounds, and I'm still going at it. But some days I mess up, some days I really do good. But it's like the same thing, and that's the thing with like growth mindset. It's never like an ending journey. It's always like a forever. I feel like till the day we die, if you have that mindset,
if you like, shade me. I know you tried. I will not go to gym, no matter what you say. When I climb my stairs, I'm always breathing that, as in heavily, but I don't.
Don't worry.
That's your own. I'm not going to any gym. I will watch you. Okay. So to wrap up, we really appreciate having you, Eniola. So thank you so much for coming to spend your time with us. So to wrap up, can you share a final thoughts on the power of adopting a growth mindset?
Oh gosh, that's a very, very strong question, and so it's a good question at the same time. Power of adopting a growth mindset would be, like I said before, the advantages, and I'll kind of bring that back into, I feel like you just learn to be disciplined. And then I just feel like the disciplined person can actually conquer the world. If you're disciplined in everything that you do or in anything that you do, there's nothing that you can't win. It's like for example, like, and I'm going to bring this into another topic entirely. It's like when if you're like, okay, if you have anger issues and you're like, okay, I want to work on my anger. That's also a growth mindset because you're trying to change something.
True.
So in that moment, if you're disciplined and somebody comes and tries to annoy you, you don't get angry. You're like, okay, I cannot be angry because I decided I do not want to be angry anymore. So no matter what somebody says to you, you won't react. You might go back in your bedroom and punch the wall, but you're not reacting in that moment. And that, just having that power, you can actually do anything that you set your mind to. So that is my version of it.
Oh, thank you so much. Really appreciate you. And guys, we've come to the end of this episode, and we hope to see you on our next episode. You don't want to miss that. So thank you, Eniola, and we hope to have you some other time on this platform. So see you guys. Bye-bye.